Hi, you're watching A Few Minutes with Tim. I'm your host, Tim Dodge, and this is part 2 of my series on wedding insurance. Now that we're in the springtime and hopefully returning to something approaching a normal wedding season, this is a good time to think about selling some wedding insurance policies. So this is part 2 on what a typical policy covers, and what I want to focus on in this video is the cancellation or postponement coverage. And this is probably the largest benefit in the policy. It covers any deposits that the couple has to forfeit, or any of the charges they have to pay because they signed a contract for a variety of different wedding-related services and goods, such as transportation, if you've rented limos, food, contract with a caterer, property and equipment rentals, rentals for the location or the hall where the wedding is being held, hotel accommodations, the deposits you put down on special attire like the wedding dress, or the deposits for the jewelry, the wedding rings, flowers. If you hired a photographer and put down a deposit, you hired a DJ, any other sort of perishable material, if you hired an event planner and there was some sort of minimum charge for that you're now out, and appointments for having the bride's makeup and nails done. There is no coverage for any items, services, or locations that the insured keeps or uses or accepts after the cancellation or postponement of the wedding. So you get the wedding dress and decide to keep it, hoping that things will go better next time. There's not going to be coverage for any deposits you put down on the dress. Also, each element of loss, each item, service, location, or portion of the wedding, the loss has to be proven separately. So if you have rehearsal dinner canceled, and so now you're out the catering fee, maybe you're out the bar bill, you have to prove all that stuff separately. There are, as always, a number of exclusions. If any circumstances that could conceivably cause the wedding to be canceled, if you know about them the day you buy the policy, there's no coverage for loss resulting from that. If people don't show up or are not available, there's no coverage for the cancellation for that. Although if the couple, one or both members of the couple or their immediate families involuntarily do not appear, then there would be coverage for that. If the couple goes broke, no coverage for cancellation because of that. If they incur charges because they didn't give vendors timely notice when they decided to postpone or cancel, there's not going to be a coverage for those charges. If for some reason the authorities prohibit the wedding, maybe this was a year ago and large gatherings were prohibited because of COVID, there'd be no coverage for that. And if a member of the couple gets cold feet, no coverage for that either if the event gets canceled. Also, no coverage for cancellations due to normal weather conditions. The wedding weather you typically see around the time of a wedding in the springtime or the summer, there's not going to be coverage if you get a rainstorm that causes the wedding to be postponed. Also, certain postponements because of injury, illness, confinement, quarantine, or death of somebody, postponement for that will not be covered if it's a result of something like addiction or mental health problems, pre-existing conditions that you knew about on the day you bought the policy, a pregnancy that you knew about at the time you bought the policy, unless the due date is a couple months beyond the wedding date, and God forbid somebody goes into labor really early. If you're in jail, no coverage for that if the wedding has to be postponed. And if you are ill or a member of the party is ill and they hold the wedding even though the doctor said this is a bad idea, and the event eventually ends up getting postponed or canceled, there's no coverage for that cancellation either. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that at least under today's circumstances, and probably for the foreseeable future, you are not going to be able to get a policy that covers cancellation due to an outbreak of COVID-19. Just not going to happen. Some policies won't even offer this coverage now because of COVID. So that is cancellation or postponement coverage. I'll be back with part 3 in the series about another coverage in the wedding insurance policy shortly. And until then, you've been listening to A Few Minutes with Tim. I keep getting my title wrong. A Few Minutes with Tim. I'm Tim Dodge. Thanks for watching.